That's good, I like it.
So you originally writing about technology at the New Scientist? I'm just verifying facts.
So, yeah, sort of. Originally as well.
Oh, no, not originally. Some time back. Where did you start?
Oh, Jesus. Computer Weekly.
Computer.
Back in the mist of time.
Nice. 95 to 2004, you were technology editor at The Independent.
Yeah, no, no.
And I just pulled out one thing from your site.
So wrong. Anyway.
This is it. Name and shame. Right. At the Register, I just pulled out one story because it's the one. It's such a kind of tiny story, but it's the one that I really remember, which was the Charles brought to our attention the iPod Nano's tendency to show scratches, which I wrote down here. It's not going to go well, is it? Arguably the biggest scratching story since the birth of hip hop. But I should have just gone for it the first time. And you also run a media training outfit to try and help companies to kind of figure out how to actually speak to journalists, being a journalist yourself.
Yeah, later. Possibly. Yeah, I guess I do. Sort of. It's me. I am that media training outfit. You should insist on putting the phone down on PR, so fuck off.
Well, we all clearly need some help. And since 2005, you've become the resident technology writer at The Guardian.
I edit the technology.
You edit the technology. Yes, sorry.
It's great, isn't it? I really need to get on that website.
Okay. All right. Well, over to you. I'm gonna show your slides. In fact, if you want to use the clicker.
I'll use the clicker.
Okay.
There's a. I think there is actually a city bylaw. You're not allowed to show PowerPoint after 9:15, so I'm going to be really fast. Twitter's on to me. Actually, if I was doing a thing I really love on the internet, I'd be doing Twitter. But I'm doing a thing that I'm trying to sort of give back to the internet. When I joined the Guardian in 2005, took over as the editor of the technology supplement. One of the things that I really learned from the Independent was that a good campaign will actually get noticed and it will get people to read you. And if it's a really well-chosen campaign, then you'll actually make a difference, which is the sort of thing journalists like. And we were casting around, me and Michael Cross, for subjects that could be really interesting in the public sector. And he brought up the subject of public sector data and the fact that the government has loads of data, doesn't do very much with it. This isn't sort of personal data like all your child benefit records, because they got onto that on their own, completely independently of us. That wasn't our idea. But we came up with the idea of a campaign called Free Our Data, which would be that you would persuade the government it's a really good idea, rather than charging people for the data like maps and tide tables and environmental data like floodplains and so on, that you'd give it away for free, and that would encourage private sector companies to start up businesses which would be able to make a profit, rather than having the situation where big companies can afford the Ordnance Survey costs and the smaller companies can't afford the startup costs. And so this is a slide which I've drawn just to try to show you the way that the money runs at the moment. You have the Treasury, which is the big panhandler in government. That decides where money goes. Government departments, local authorities, those are all parts of government. Ordnance Survey is owned by government, but it's sort of a little company on its own right. Then you have private sector companies, which also includes non-profits, who sit outside and are done in a completely different colour. Okay, here's money. Central funding goes from the government to local authorities and the government departments. Money goes from private sector to the Treasury as taxes. Then we complicate it a bit. We have all these different organisations using Ordnance Survey's data, which is things like the maps, which tell you where stuff is. Google Maps is, in effect, licensed from the Ordnance Survey because they buy it off Teddy Atlas. And there's been a bit of a row about this, but that's for another time. So they're all using Ordnance Survey data, but Ordnance Survey is not giving its data away for free. Money has to change hands. Here's the money changing hands. Yellow in the yellow lines is all the license payments, because you have to license your Ordnance Survey map. Very tight licenses so that no one can use the licenses that they don't want it. Ordnance Survey then goes and spends some money making maps. Okay. Ordnance Survey also pays a bit back to the Treasury of its surplus. This is the way that it's set up as a sort of private company, in effect, within government. It's called a trading fund. It's sort of like a mitochondria. If anyone's done biology, if you remember, the mitochondria are the little bits within the cell which lie outside the nucleus, but which generate energy for you. And trading funds, which is what the UK Hydrographic Office, Land Registry, Ordnance Survey are, they all generate a bit of money for the Treasury. Not very much. They're not much of a tax burden. In fact, they're no tax burden at all. But they're not benefiting the wider economy as they could. Okay, I thought this slide wasn't complicated enough, though, so I thought I'd add some more arrows in. Go on, go on. pulling the wrong thing. Okay, yes, these ones. I'm not finished yet. There's more hours to come, don't worry. The purple, these are the lawyers. Lawyers go and say to these people, you can't use this data in this way, and they get heavy with them. So, in fact, the Ordnance Survey wrote to local government back in October and said, by the way, don't do anything that you might have made with an Ordnance Survey map and put it on Google Maps, because we'll come and sue your ass. It was very nice, really. It was charming of them. And they do the same to private sector companies. There's all the lawsuits flying around. The Ordnance Survey legal department are really red hot. Okay, one thing lawyers don't do, they don't actually generate any revenue. They just tell people, stop doing that. We don't like it. More arrows. This is, go mad with Keynote, this is. So this is what's happening, is that money is sort of flowing around in this rather useless circle. It's going through in the red arrows into the government departments, and it's going back into the Ordnance Survey, and a little bit dribbles back in the blue arrow, which is Treasury money. But what you find, if you actually look at the way the Ordnance Survey money breaks down, about half of the money that it actually takes in as license payments comes from central government departments and local authorities. That's mad. That's just friction. That's just giving the guys who do the licenses something to do with their time. So the proposal for our data is just take away all these damn payments. It's just too annoying. So, start again. Ordnance Survey spends money making maps. We think Ordnance Survey is very good. It's very good at making maps. It's fantastic at what it does. No one does it better in the UK. Give it central funding. Let the people use the Ordnance Survey data for free. Let the private sector, which then is able to get on and actually do startups and things, using the Ordnance Survey data without having to worry about whether they're breaking the license, pay taxes. No purple lines. No red arrows. It's a PowerPoint from heaven. And if you actually look at the numbers, the breakdown is that according to a model of PSI provision by the Trading Funds report for DBER, that you make a shitload of money, actually. You get a gross benefit down the bottom, which is £180 million to the economy. Net cost to the government, £15 million. That's a net gain, £164 million. Everyone wins. And the next trick is just to persuade the government that this is a good idea to do, which they're considering at the moment. So, watch this space. We may have something even better for the internet, which will be our gift back to you in return for Twitter.